So I thought I'd actually go back to, well, not really go back to it, but just record a video of standing up because I haven't done one in a while. But, well, first thing first, I just got back from the football and my team won 3-0. So that was great. But something that is very on topic with my life right now, after the week I just had, is the ability just to keep going and not quitting when things get tough because it's very easy to just quit when things aren't going your way and sort of come up with an excuse and lie to yourself and just sort of say like, oh yeah, like I'm gonna quit because it's not working, or I don't enjoy it as much anymore. Like you try and give yourself an excuse even though like you know deep down you're lying to yourself. And I would say I know I'm a good candidate for sort of talking on this because my whole life, I've said it before, my whole life it feels like everything is just like a battle. Like nothing in my life comes easy. Throughout school, my work career, the things, the side hustles I've done, it's never been like I start something, I see the results here. Even with the YouTube is, like progress is slowed down a lot, and I'm not, gaining loads and loads of subscribers all the time. Um, which to me, like, obviously, it is frustrating. Obviously, like, you wanna, or for me, like, I wanna post content in, they get lots of views. People come in, they subscribe. Of course, like, I want that, but it's never once crossed my mind to quit. I went through like, well, probably the start of the year. I sort of went through like a phase where I was questioning like, do I want to continue doing it anymore? But that was like a whole part of my life. But even during that period, I still produce content. And even now, like I look at a video, doesn't do well. It's like, all right, cool. There's always another chance because you never truly know how close you are to winning. There is no gauge. I could post this video, Saturday now. I post this video Sunday, and it could go viral, or maybe not. Who knows? But I will never know unless I don't post a video, right? And that could, tomorrow could be the day that I win for you guys today. But if I quit, like, there's no way of knowing. And then, I don't know what people believe in, but there could be a thing where you get to the end of your life and then you're shown, like, if you carried on going with this project, this business, this side hustle, this, whatever it is that you're doing, this could have been your life if you kept going. You're going to be kicking yourself. You're going to be kicking yourself. And I think something that I believe is nowadays with social media, people only show the good stuff. They're only showing the wins and the glamorous lifestyle. And whether they mean to or not, some people they don't mean to, but I think as viewers and as people just like seeing this content, you sort of just push to the side like the journey that they've been on, their own personal journey. Of course, they know how long it took and how much they had to sacrifice and whatever. But as viewers, like you don't see that, so you're like, oh well, like so and so they posted 10 videos and they're all going viral, but that person could have had 5 channels before, been doing it for so long, and as people like you sort of just forget that, and young people, athletes and stuff like that, you see that these young people like bursting onto the scene again, like you're just comparing yourself like, oh yeah, like this 21-year-old guy is representing England playing in the World Cup, and I'm here working a 9 to 5 and posting content, and then it's not even going viral. Like like look at him compared to me. Again, like you don't think that, oh, like I bet he worked so hard, all the sacrifice and the late nights, getting back from training, and then having to go to school the very next day and doing the homework and all this and that. You don't take that in. You sort of just like, oh yeah, like so and so is massive. No, he's so rich and got all this money and all these cars and stuff. and you're shooting yourself in the foot. Of course, not everybody's trying to push this image or whatever that, you know, this young success, but it's easy to compare your, you know, lifestyle, you know, to, well, your real life to somebody's social media, because it truly is only the best bits. And you know, for me personally, like, especially their side hustles that in that moment of time, like, it meant so much to me. They're investing thousands of pounds before even making my first penny. You know, that was tough, and to me, that was, you know, in that moment, that was, you know, for me, it felt like my first time where I was really in the trenches and I had to show heart and show grit and keep showing up. Obviously, like, now looking back, you know, I noticed it and recognized it throughout my school years. And this week, I mean, you know, messing up so much. I didn't have to go in at 3:30. Nobody told me to. Nobody asked me to. Nobody even really knew until I was there, obviously, you know, working away, and they're like, what are you doing? And I explained it like, I didn't have to. You know, I'm an apprentice. I could have been like, oh, nah, like, you know, I'm struggling. It's too hard for me. Can you just get one of the senior techs, you know, just do it for me? I could have done that, because people do that. But, you know, with me, it's like, no, like, I don't want to quit. I wanna put it right, because I know I can. Obviously, I'm messing up this job like 2 times before. You know, third time's a charm, eh? But like, I don't really have any quit in me, and I know quitting never really crosses my mind. And that genuinely, like, this isn't some of the big hype talk. To me, it never crosses my mind. It's just like, okay, we got this problem, or we got this goal. Let's push on until we get there. We may redirect and change the plan a bit, but the goal you know, remains the same. But yeah, guys, like, don't quit. Keep on going, because you never know what day you're going to win. With me, I tell myself all it takes is one video. Just one video is all it takes. I mean, you know, I got that video with like over 3K views. That was just out of nowhere, and that blew my channel up to sort of like this point in this extent. All I need is another one of those, get the momentum behind me again, and then another one, and yeah, like, we can really get the ball rolling and we get out there. But yeah, I'm not gonna quit. I hope you guys don't either, and yeah, enjoy your weekend, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.